Hey, Facebook Live. This is Rabbi Chaim Baruch-Halevsky here, aka Rabbi Chaim. So I'm running here in Central Park, as I do quite often. Check out the park. Bit of a cloudy day today, and you hear the sirens, New York City sirens in the background. It's part of my service of God is to be healthy, and I'd like to promote that along to others also. And one of the ways I do that, aside from trying to eat healthy, is to run a few times a week in Central Park. And this is my beautiful home away from home. And while I run, I also customarily have my Tefillin shirt on. Can you see that? Real men wear Tefillin. And I also, if you can see I have headphones on, I also listen to a talk of the Rebbe every time I run around the park. And they're so amazingly inspiring. I want to share them with you, at least sometimes. So I just heard a talk today. It's actually related to my shirt. And just a few minutes ago, I just listened to it, literally minutes ago. And I'd like to share it with you. I didn't study it. I don't have the text in front of me. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it. And we'll call it a running thought because I'm literally running. And they blocked off a part of the park over here, so it's gonna get really noisy here. I'm gonna get past the noise and then we'll talk again. Thank you. People taking care of our park. Okay, so today the Rebbe spoke about, today is the 12th day of Shvat, and also just coming from Yud Shvat, the day the Rebbe became Rebbe 2 days ago. It's very exciting. I hope this is not very dizzying to you as I'm running and talking. But here's the idea. The Rebbe said this is in the early 60s. This talk was in the early 60s. And the Rebbe's talking about how there's a lot of crime happening in the world and juvenile delinquencies. And the Rebbe asked, what's the source of all this? And he says the source of all this crime and all the issues in the world today mainly are from a disconnect between the mind and the heart. So we have our mind tells us what we should be doing, or we know what we should be doing, and our heart wants something else. Our biological drives and instincts want something else. Hey, that might be our president up there. I don't know. He's making noise. So, the Rebbe says, what happens is a person or a child, before they do a crime, their mind tells them not to. They know, don't do this. It's foolish, and it doesn't even make sense, not only from a spiritual level, but also from a social, regular, secular level. It just doesn't make sense. It's not worth it to do a crime. Even if they don't catch you, even if you don't end up in jail, you're going to lose your friends. And it's just going to come back to bite you in many different ways. So the Rebbe says that the mind screams that a person don't do something wrong, but then there's a problem because there's a disconnect from the mind to the heart, because the heart just wants it. And it's a slippery slope when a person follows the heart's desires, and even starts with something very small like a hairline issue that's not okay, and then it goes from there, from something small, and it's a slippery slope to something very big. And the Rebbe uses an example of somebody who's lost deep in the forest, and he's probably not just gone from the highway right into the forest. He probably went off the path off a little bit, and then a little bit more, and deeper and deeper and deeper. So there's no jump from the highway to the depth of the forest. So too, we have to be careful with the slightest things that we do, because the slightest things can lead us to deeper trouble. And then the Rebbe says, okay, finally, we know the problem. What's the solution? The solution, says the Rebbe, is actually built into our Jewish rituals, our daily rituals. It's Tefillin. Because the Tefillin, as you can see on my shirt over here, the Tefillin, real men wear Tefillin, is what it does is the Tefillin, it talks about the unity of God. And we wrap the Tefillin on our arm, representing our actions. And right next to the heart, representing our emotions, our passions. And we also wrap it on our head, representing our intellect. So the tefillin actually bind the mind and the heart and the action to God. And that is the solution, says the Rebbe, for someone to live a moral life and a just life. And of course, women who don't need to wear tefillin, they have that instinctively. They have the better control of their mind and the heart and the body. But for men, it's a tefillin issue. And even virtually, the concept is that the mind should control the heart, which controls the actions. And that is the lesson for today that I heard while I was running. Very empowering thought. I want to call this a running thought with Rabbi Chaim on Facebook Live, Central Park. We might do this a few times a week when it works out well, weather-wise or otherwise. Thank you for listening. Please share it. God bless you.